President Bola Tinubu has just made what many are calling the most significant fiscal reform announcement of his administration, and the implications for every Nigerian are massive. The president stood before the National Assembly on Friday to present the 2026 budget and dropped this bombshell that Nigeria will stop running 3 budgets at the same time, and by March 31, 2026, the country will finally return to a single budget system. Now, let me tell you exactly what this means and why you should care about it. For years, Nigeria has been stuck in a vicious cycle of running multiple budgets simultaneously. And this is not just a technical problem, but one that affects everyday Nigerians. The government approves a budget for 2024, but the money is not fully released, so projects drag into 2025, and before you know it, we are running 2024, 2025, and 2026 budgets all at once. Imagine trying to pay last year's bills, this year's bills, and next year's bills with the same salary, and you will understand the chaos this creates. Roads that should have been completed in 2023 are still under construction in 2025 because contractors have not been paid. Schools that were supposed to be built years ago remain uncompleted. This is the reality of Nigeria's budget system, and President Tinubu is saying enough is enough. During his budget presentation, the president was very clear about the problem. He said the nation has been plagued by abandoned projects, unpaid contractual obligations, and multiple budgets, both inherited and unfulfilled. He called it a reset, a very hard one, and he's absolutely right because fixing this mess is not going to be easy. The president has formally asked the National Assembly to extend the 2025 budget implementation to March 31, 2026. And this extension is not just about buying time, but about clearing the backlog once and for all. According to the letter read by Speaker Tajuddin Abbas on Friday, this move is part of a broader fiscal reform measure aimed at eliminating the overlap of multiple concurrently running budgets and strengthening planning, execution, and accountability across government expenditure cycles. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The president is not just extending the 2025 budget, but is also seeking to repeal and reenact both the 2024 and 2025 Appropriation Act. The 2024 budget, which was originally 35.06 trillion naira, will be revised to 43.56 trillion naira, and the 2025 budget, which was 54.99 trillion naira, will be revised downward to 48.32 trillion naira. These revisions are designed to cater for all items not previously recognized and to reflect a revised capital implementation target of 30%. This is crucial because one of the biggest problems Nigeria has faced is that even when money is allocated in the budget, only a small fraction is actually released to the ministries, departments, and agencies that need it to execute projects. By setting a realistic target of 30%, the government is saying we would rather promise less and deliver than promise everything and deliver nothing. The Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, explained to the Senate Committee on Finance that out of the 40 trillion naira projected revenue for 2025, only 10 trillion naira has been realized, leaving a shortfall of 30 trillion naira. This massive revenue shortfall is why the government has been forced to roll over 70% of the 2025 capital project into 2026. This is not a new problem, but one that has been building for years, and it is why contractors are owed billions of naira, projects are abandoned, and infrastructure development has been so slow. But with this new reform, the government is trying to break the cycle by being more realistic about what it can achieve with the revenue it actually has. Now, before you think this is all sunshine and rainbows, let me tell you that lawmakers are not entirely convinced. During a session earlier this week, members of the Senate Committee on Finance criticized the administration for this practice of operating multiple budgets. Senator Danjuma Guje from Gombe Central called it unacceptable and insisted that things must be normalized. Other senators like Oyewumi Olaliri urged the government to present realistic figures and projects in the budget rather than proposing targets that are unattainable and then extending them. These are valid concerns because Nigerians have heard promises before, and many remain skeptical about whether this reform will actually work. However, the chairman of the Senate Committee on Finance, Sani Musa, has assured lawmakers that the January to December budget cycle will be restored in 2026 with improved oversight of federal government spending. He also announced that a 3-member committee would be set up to work with the Minister of Finance and the Accountant General to ensure that local contractors who completed projects in 2024 are paid before the budget expires on December 31, 2024. This is important because if contractors are not paid, they will not have the confidence to take on new projects, and the cycle of abandoned projects will continue. If you have been following this story and you want to stay updated on whether the government actually delivers on these promises, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we will be tracking this closely over the next few months to see if President Tinubu delivers on this promise to end the era of multiple budgets and bring sanity to Nigeria's finances. This is the kind of reform that could change the country if done right. So let's keep watching and holding our leaders accountable.